Hi guys, LC Fifa here, and welcome to my FIFA 20 92 Team of the Week Moments Ter Stegen player review. This year there's no doubt that Ter Stegen has been one of the most heavily used goalkeepers by a lot of players, and his regular goal card has managed to pull off some incredible saves for both me and my opponent, so when this card was released I knew he was a goalkeeper I had to pick up and try out. Anyway, as you can see on screen, this is the team I started him in, with Ter Stegen in goal. Robertson, Militao, Gabriel Paulista and Semedo in defence, Sané, Kante, Fabinho, Rivaldo and Shaqiri in midfield, with Lineker in attack. Ter Stegen is 6'2", he's right footed and has a 1-star skill move and 4-star weak foot. I used him with a basic chemistry style as it maxed out most of the important stats to 99, but if you aren't too bothered about them, then it might be a good idea to boost his speed. Looking at his traits, he's got the rushes out of goal, comes for crosses and saves with feet trait. So starting off with the positives, the first thing I'm going to mention is his diving, which was really good for me. Despite his height is 6'2", which is on the smaller side for a goalkeeper, I didn't really notice it affected him too much in game because of how good his diving was. Most of the time he had the best diving attempt to stop the ball, and he does get a range of different diving animations, which allows him to get a whole range of saves. He has the saves with feet trait, which is a massive positive for a goalkeeper as it allows him to make saves against low shots using their feet, rather than trying to get the whole body or hands down to the height of the ball, which takes more time and results in you conceding more goals. He also made a lot of one-handed saves for me, which other goalkeepers might not have been able to reach. The next positive is reflexes, which for me are the best thing about the card. He managed to make some incredible saves that keeps you in the game, and overall this is what I noticed most of the time when using any Ter Stegen card. As I mentioned in his diving ability, he just sticks out an arm to get a block on the ball, and it makes him so frustrating to play against, but the best when you have him in your own goal. His saves with feet trait is also important to his reflexes, as in close to goal situations, your goalkeeper doesn't always have the time to react if he wants to get a hand or his body to low shot, so this trait is vital to making those stops. His distribution on the whole was really great for me, and the only thing that was really missing was a long throw trait. That's not to say his throwing is bad, it's just a shame he doesn't have it. His kicking is by far the most powerful kick I've seen in this game. It takes a bit of getting used to, but once you start to work out how much power to put on the kick, it's very accurate and easy to start up counter attacks. Ter Stegen also has a great kick from the ground, and he was able to clear the ball high up into the pitch when needed to, or kick it out to one of my players. Another positive to this is he also has a 4-star weak foot, so it doesn't matter which foot you kick it with, it's always very powerful and accurate. Although most of the time, he does tend to use his stronger foot. If you find yourself under pressure and passing it back to your goalkeeper, you don't always have the time to switch foot, and with it being 4-star, this was never an issue. Positioning wise, this card was great. He never really seemed out of position for me, and I'd say that none of the goals I conceded were as a result of his bad positioning. Maybe occasionally he was stood a little too far off his line, but nowhere near as bad as I've seen other goalkeepers. I did unfortunately concede one long shot, but it wasn't massively far out, and it was from De Bruyne, who has a great long shot stat, so it would be harsh for me to say that it was Ter Stegen's fault for the goal. If you look into the clips, you can see he's constantly shuffling around to get into the best position, and I never really had any issues with him being slightly off centre to the player. Handling wise, he was okay. 88 as a stat isn't great in this point in the game, but he does hold on to some stuff that you'd expect him to catch. He managed to hold on to some powerful shots from outside the box, and he doesn't just palm them away like some keepers do, but inside the box, unless the shot is quite weak, he isn't going to catch it. His speed felt very average for me on the whole, as you might expect. He did feel fast than the stats suggest with it being in the mid-40s, but I think it could be down to the fact he has the rushes out of goal trait, so he knows when he's capable of coming out. However, although he does have this trait, he's in no way a goalkeeper that can be used as a sweeper keeper, as he just doesn't have the speed. Moving on to the negatives, the first thing I want to mention is that although he has a comes for crosses trait, he rarely actually comes out to collect a cross or a corner. I found that unless the ball was crossed very close to his initial starting position, I had to bring him out manually to come and collect the ball in the air. This isn't a massive issue, as heading isn't necessarily the best this year anyway, but keepers that I've used before that have had this trait come out the majority of the time, which results in less pressure on your goal and more saves for your goalkeeper. The final negative, and the biggest issue I had with this card, was that when he wasn't able to hold onto the ball, he often pushes it into a dangerous position instead of clearing it away behind the goal. This opens you up to a lot of second chances, which is frustrating because sometimes he makes a really good initial save, but because he can't push the ball away, he concedes an easy tap in from a second chance. So overall, I'm going to give this 92 Ter Stegen, a 9.2 out of 10. He's a great goalkeeper in this game and one of the top shot stoppers when it comes to chances inside the box. His reflexes and diving make it very difficult for your opponent to score, and with a decent defence in front of him, you'll keep a lot of clean sheets. His kicking and positioning were also great and never really let me down in game. The main drawback to this card is his lack of ability to clear the ball away from danger, and the fact he rarely comes out to collect crosses into the box. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. And to request any future content, then please leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to reply.